When it comes to DeFi or decentralized finance, one of the more interesting combinations is using NFTs and gamification to make it more interesting. DeFi to me is just kind of boring in its native state, and I know a lot of people, swear by it, but I need something that's going to hold my attention a little bit more. So combining with NFTs and gamification definitely does that. We're going to look at a project today that takes it to the next level. I'm going to break it all down for you guys. Are you ready? Crypto friends, thanks again for joining me. So today we're talking all about the combination of DeFi with NFTs and a gamification element to it. This is something I feel that it really does, hold the attention a little bit more. It makes it a little bit more fun and interesting than it just being a regular old click. Here you go. Okay, great. We got our yield in there. LP tokens already ready to go. And so today's project called Clam Island takes that and kind of puts a little bit of a twist on it with a double token ecosystem and NFTs to boot with some really cool features that I've never seen before in a gamified DeFi platform. So before we get into all that though, if you love gaming, NFTs, and earning money in crypto, then make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and smash that like button if you like what you hear and want to continue your gaming and NFT profit journey with me. I'd love for you guys to join the community as well. Join our Discord and get in there with the rest of the Stachers and learn a little bit more about NFTs and gaming together. So, okay, today's project is called Clam Island, and their UI is actually unique. I've never seen a DeFi UI like this before. Let's go take a look. So here we are at Clam Island. It's an actual island, guys, and they do a really good job of like incorporating characters here, doing a cool 3D element with it. You can see, it's a kind of like this explorable type island. Now they have some pretty interesting things going on. Before I jump into everything, one of the cool things they just announced is they're doing what they call a pearl hunt. So part of this whole ecosystem is farming pearls, and I'm going to talk about what that means here in a second. But for the people who farm the rarest and the highest grade pearls during this pearl hunt, they can win a Tiffany pearl necklace valued at about $10,000. So that's a pretty interesting fact, and you're going to see how that ties in here in just a second. So, but keep that in mind, because that's a pretty interesting, cool thing that you could actually win here as they're just kicking off this platform. It's only been live for about a little bit over almost a month now, almost a month. So Clam Island is a DeFi-based platform, and it uses a two-token system, like I said. Gem is the native token. It is the token you use for buying and selling on the platform. It's the utility token, right? And then they have Shell, and Shell is like the governance token, right? It helps to give you a boost, with some of those things on the platform. And the interesting thing with Shell is the only way you actually can Shell is created is through a burn mechanism, which we're going to talk about here in a second as well. But you need Gem to get started with Clam Island. So Gem is how you buy your clams. And so the way the ecosystem is you use gems. You use gems to buy clams, and then you use the clams to farm pearls. And the pearls then give you a boost to your pools, your DeFi pools, right? So that's kind of the whole cycle here, right? That's the whole cycle in this whole thing. So that is kind of the overview of what it looks like. But let's go take a look at exactly what that is. So the first thing you would be doing is you'd be going to the bank, right? You got to go to the bank to be able to get those gems, and you can see the bank is where you go to get and so like I said, they have also a gamification, and they do a really good job of walking you through with the gamification as well. They have the cool characters, backgrounds that are animated. It looks really polished. So is there anything they can help me with? No, I'm good. They're like, okay, great, we're here. So you can see the Clam Bank is where you can go and invest into the different pools that they offer, right? A gem pool, shell pool, and like I said, that's the other thing that you can do with shells as well. Invest them here in the pool, and there's a couple other pools they have here too that are outside of the actual game. Now, when we talk about the first step is you got to buy some gems. Well, to do that, you can go to what they use bogged finance here, and you can swap Binance or any of your other favorite Binance Smart Chain based tokens for Gem. Gem and Shell are both Binance based tokens themselves. So this is where you can go to be able to get this these gems that you're going to need here to be able to purchase, right? And then you eventually be coming back here to the bank to be able to deposit and be able to stake in here to be able to get some of those really good returns. Let's go back to the map. So the next stop would be the shop. So the shop is the next place we want to go, and Captain Decree, he's got a whole welcome thing that he can go through, which is pretty cool. So it's like, if this is your first time here, you know, he walks you through exactly what you need to do to get started. So he's like, first you got to get some gem. So we don't need Captain Decree to show us around, because Captain Stache is here to show you guys around. But it's there for if you ever get confused on anything, as well as there's also the info bank here, right here, the info visitor center. You can go here and you know, learn a little bit more about if you have any questions or anything too. So here's the info center here with Janet, good old Janet. She'll tell you anything you need to know. But the shop is one of the main places where we're going to go. So I've already purchased some gems, and I actually just purchased a clam too. So this is where you would go, and you can see you can buy or you can harvest clams here. And we're going to talk about what harvesting clams means in a second. So buying clams, you can see here I have a clam that is ready for my collection. I've already purchased him with my gems, and I don't know what I got yet. And there's so clams have different rarities, right? So depending on how powerful your clam is how many pearls it's going to be able to produce in its lifetime. So a clam will be able to produce anywhere between 5 and 15 pearls. So before it dies. So the clam itself is an NFT, and so when it gets done producing pearls, after you stake your clam in that farm, once it's done producing those pearls, it's essentially dead. Now all that means is you don't lose the NFT, but that just means that it's not going to produce any more pearls any longer. And in that amount of time of producing pearls, you can actually burn this clam to be able to get shell tokens back. And like I said, that's the only way that shell tokens are ever created. So there's not a lot of shell tokens out there because there's people not necessarily burning their clams. Now, one of the strategies here is, you know, you could have your clam produce all the way up until the very last pearl, which in this case you could then harvest it for shell and get the maximum amount of shell back before it dies, right? Now, if it's a really rare clam, which we don't know what we got yet, I'm gonna reveal it here in just a second. If it's a rare clam, you might want to let that clam go and produce its last pearl, because the last pearl is always going to be the rarest. So it's definitely a give and take situation. You know, here's where some of that gamification comes in, which I actually kind of enjoy. So, all right, our clam is ready to harvest. Let's click it and see what we get. So for you guys, just so you guys know, you do need some BNB for some of these transactions. It's a very small amount of BNB to be able to use here. It's 0.01. I'm basically paying for this transaction. And you are going to need gem for some other transactions on here too, in particular staking it in the farm to be able to get pearls, right? So you're going to need some gem for that transaction as well. So we have our transaction confirmed. And it looks like our clam has been claimed. So we're gonna go and we're going to go check that out. And the place that you go look at your clams and your pearl NFTs is in the safe. So like I said, if I wanted to harvest clams, this is where I would come to if I wanted to harvest for shell. But the next stop on our tour here is the Saferoom. So we have one clam. Let's see, hopefully it's gonna pop up here. Oh, here we go. I had it on pearls, so I don't have any pearls just yet. But here is our clam. We got a common one, so not most awesome. It's with the barnacle shape, so we didn't get a super crazy one. And you can see it looks like it's still kind of loading here. But we can see like general stats on it. Comment pearls remaining. Oh, so here we go. So yeah, and the clams themselves are 3D NFTs, so that's pretty interesting as well. And you can kind of see some of the stats of it. It's crazy forked clam tongue. So pearls remaining. So this one can produce 14 pearls, almost the maximum amount of pearls, which is pretty good. It also has a gem boost of 96, which is pretty good as well. Then we look at some of the things like shape, shell color, inner color, lip color. All these things have different rarities on them. Forked tongue, which is kind of interesting. So now we see our different clams. We can now go to the farm and stake our clam NFT to start earning some pearl. And so you can see here's where you would start depositing, and Al is the one that's going to help us out with that. You can deposit your clam here. So you can see like what gem boost is. See, boost is only available the first time the clam is deposited, and only if no other clams of the same rarity tier was deposited at the same time. Otherwise, the boost amount will be 0. But you can see my boost amount is 96. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to deposit this clam, and then see, it gives you an ETA on when a pearl is going to be produced. So right now it's looking about 2 days for me to produce an actual pearl. And so what you can do with those pearls is you could obviously, use them to boost up your DeFi yields. And so here we go. We're going to approve this clam. Let me see here. And so we'd approve the clam here for an actual, farm. So you can see right here, but what I do need to be able to do this, like I said, you do need to have gem. So I need to have at least 32.8 gem to stake a clam. So right now I don't have any extra gem, but that's something I could go buy on the marketplace here to stake my actual clam to earn some pearls and start getting those rewards. Now, once you've done that, that's when you can come back to the bank, and then you can use that. You can use that to actually boost your actual yields here with certain different pearls. So once you have a pearl, there's different types of pearls that will give you different boosts, and they change all the time. So they're not always. It's not always like, oh, any pearl you have will give you a boost, but different pearls give you boosts in different times, right? And one of the cool things that I meant to mention here about the actual pearls themselves and the clams is that the traits and look of these clams and pearls in particular are all based on real-world traits. So when you get these pearls back, you may be getting a pearl with traits that are based on real-life pearl traits, right? And then, looking at those high grading scales and the rarest pearls, that might be what it nets you getting that Tiffany pearl necklace, right? The one that we told you at the beginning was valued at 10K. So that's a pretty interesting thing. And so then looking at kind of like long-term use case here and what they're going to be doing, they have a pretty aggressive roadmap that they want to expand here. And one of the cool things they've been looking at doing is linking real pearls and clams to NFTs. So I think it'd be kind of interesting if you were investing in an actual clam that was in some sort of farm somewhere, and then maybe it's going to produce a pearl or not. You don't know. Or maybe it's going to produce a rare pearl, a different type of pearl. So that's something they're looking to do here in the future, which I think is another interesting, link to real world use case. And they're also going to be looking at like offering single use boosters, right? So whereas you may have a pearl that could be, maybe you have a bunch of pearls and enough to where every day you can come and boost your rewards here in the liquidity pools. With a massive, pearl collection. But maybe you want to be able to grab some single boosts, and that's something they're going to be working on soon too. In addition to a whole NFT marketplace, so you can trade these pearls and these clams back and forth between people, because that's definitely one of the things you need for this type of game, I think. And then they're hoping to be able to bring in other games that can use this same platform as they kind of flesh out the ecosystem for a double token DeFi yield that includes NFTs. So think about other games being able to come in and be able to use gem in their game and use all the tools that Clam Island is providing here. So back to the Clam Island's homepage. I really do like this. And Captain Decree here, we don't need you anymore, buddy. But you can, yeah, but we still like talking to you. It's like, okay. So that's kind of the long and the short of what it looks like to be on Clam Island, what the game is all about, how much you can be earning here in these pools, because they do have quite a few different pools you can earn in, which is great, and how you can boost them up with NFTs and the whole ecosystem and earning pearls. I think it's a lot of fun. Let me know what you guys think about Clam Island and if it's something that you'd be getting on. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this and DeFi. I don't cover a ton of DeFi, specific projects, but this one I thought had some pretty interesting NFT and gamification aspects to it that I think could keep people around for a lot longer than if it was just a point and click. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That's all we have for today, folks. Until next time, stash that crypto, friends.